Mrs. Wadley, delighted that I'm here. Jaiswalji had come to Delhi and had said that we have to meet here in this school to see what this wonderful, beautiful effort that you've all put in looks like. And then I get a special gift. My special gift is my meeting here on your beautiful, beautiful premises with my dear friend Khurshid, who has been in good times, in bad times. We have struggled together. We've campaigned together. We've celebrated together. And today it's wonderful that on a day like this, which is for us a celebration here, but on a pious day, he just told me that Parshuram Jayanti's function is at 2 o'clock and he will have to get there as well. I came really not to be able to come here. I was coming for a fiqh function on the insistence of my good friend Young Ibrahim. And then suddenly this prospect emerged, and I couldn't say no. How could I possibly say no to coming to something which is right in the center of my heart? And I'm thankful that my friend Rajesh Soni has accompanied me here. I want to say to you, Jaiswal Sahab, that this is not my coming. This is only an announcement that I'm going to come. I have to give you more time. But believe you me, I don't know how fast people in Indore work. But this order from the High Court we got only 3 days ago. And in 3 days, everything that had to be done in terms of that order you have done. I want to say, because you're all parents and some of you may be already having your children here, some of you wanting to bring your children to this school. I want to say to you that we are determined to make the Delhi Public World Schools. We started as DPS World because we are all products. He's junior to me from Delhi Public School. I started in Delhi Public School when I was barely 4 years old, and I remained attached with them, except that India is changing. Our generations are changing. Our circumstances are changing. Unfortunately, I couldn't persuade Delhi Public School to change. And this change is why teachers and ex-students of Delhi Public School have come out to say that we, inspired by our alma mater, inspired by the mother who nurtured us, we will go out into the world with this light, and we will take this light everywhere. You remember one of our Prime Ministers, I.K. Gujral Sahab, very fond of Urdu poetry, and I know that Indore itself has a major claim to Urdu Shairi. Rahat Indori is after all from Indore. So it's the wrong place for me to be quoting a shair, but I remember I.K. Gujral Sahab once recited it and it went deep into my heart. And I want to just repeat it for you. Koi bazm ho, koi anjuman, ye shiar mera kadeem hai. This is an old habit of mine. Koi bazm ho, koi anjuman, ye shiar mera kadeem hai. Jahan roshni ki kami dikhi, wahin ek chirag jala diya. And it takes courage to say this in Indore, but it is joy and pleasure to be saying it here. And I want to say this to you parents because I genuinely believe India is on the cusp of greatness that we have not known in the past. Today the world is looking at India. The world is expecting a lot from India, and the world is heavily dependent on India. And I say this not because of our markets, I say this not because of our technology, I say this not because of our population. All those things are factored into what the world makes of India. But I say this because of a spiritual strength that India has. The remarkable harmony of our spiritual strength that India has, that is needed in the world. This is a world of conflict. There's conflict in India and there's conflict in the world. And a new generations of Indians have to grow up and walk in the footsteps of Mahatma Gandhi and walk with the assurance of spirituality of India to save the world. And for that, what we need is first to light light a lamp within ourselves. And that's basically what each of these Delhi Public World Schools will do. There are many good schools, and there will be many good schools. But for everyone, their own child is important. But of course, we know that we are dealing with you, Mrs. Wagle, and your wonderful staff here, your faculty, that for you teachers, you are doing a noble job, because what every mother does for one child, you do for many children. And that's what makes you very, very special. My grandfather used to say that there are two people who never despair and never give up on a child. One is the mother and one is the teacher. Two people. And that's the combination. The combination, and I'm sorry, teachers are generally mothers, but there are some teachers who are fathers also, so I have to include them in. I'm now going to the FICCI Women's Conference, where I have to speak about equality and gender justice. So maybe there I will say that you should have some seats reserved for men to become teachers also, because really this is a revolution in our country, that women have changed the face of education, because women have taken upon themselves to say, we will educate people, and everywhere we go, we like to do that. This is no time for going into details, but I want to say to you that we are tying up with the best educational processes in the world. Finland is today undoubtedly the best educational system in the world, far exceeding where we learn from, which is from the United Kingdom. And we have tied up with Finland. Some of our principals have already gone to Finland, and some of them will be going very soon. There's a huge workshop within a few weeks that will be held. We will bring the best resources from the world. We will bring in the best ideas and use our best experiences. But each one of these schools, and this is important to understand, because today everyone talks about franchises. Let me make it very clear, very crystal clear. This is not a franchise. This is not a franchise. And Mr. Jaswal doesn't own one school in Indore. He owns 50 other Delhi Public World Schools that are running, because he's a voting member. He's a voting member of the General Assembly. So that anything that happens in Delhi Public World Schools is decided by people like him, our colleagues, our equal members, and my friends like Rajiv Soni. But even more important, there is a Council of Principals. So every year the Council of Principals will meet, and they will exchange the best practices from each school. It's possible that we have less to teach to you and something to learn from you. It isn't that we are sitting in Delhi, therefore we know everything. There is something maybe in Indore that we know. And I already named Rahat Indori, and I can name that my friend Ibrahim said, I said, what else is good in Indore? And they said, Chaat is very good here. So there is something that we have to learn. All I want to say to you is, trust us, be with us. The most valuable possession of your life you have handed over to Delhi World School. We promise you that this hira, this diamond that you have given us, will be chiseled, will be polished, and will be returned to you in a way that you will be truly proud of yourself, your children, and of India. That's what we want to do. I'll come back here when they have more time and a larger function, more children are available, because frankly, schools are children. Not brick and mortar, this is all very important, not the garden, very important, not the classrooms, very important. It's the children who really matter, and these schools are about children. And children are what are going to be the center of our dreams, and those dreams will one day come true. I finally say to the children and to the teachers here, लब पे आती है दुआ, बन के तमन्ना मेरी, जिंदगी शम्मा की सूरत और खुदाया तेरी. जय हिंद.